A beautiful tribute to the late Dale Sr. Here is Austin Dillon's 2018 American Ethanol Darlington Throwback. Howdy folks, Diecastbuffet here again, and welcome back to another NASCAR diecast review. Today's car is from Wave 2, and it is Austin Dillon's E15 American Ethanol Dale Earnhardt Sr. Darlington Throwback. This one, man, you cannot miss this car on the racetrack. I mean, wow. So you got like this just beautiful kind of like, almost like a metallic silver. I mean, like, if you can make a NASCAR look like a silver bar, this is probably the closest representation you could make. Wow. This is a very, very stunning paint job on this car. And it just, you can just pick up this package, you know, and you can just see the silver on it. It's just, holy cow, man, is that a beautiful, beautiful silver, man. Just a very, very nice job by Lionel on this. This car is from Wave 2, and we already reviewed a bunch of these cars, but today is Austin Dillon's Darlington Throwback. So this is a 2018 Camaro, but nonetheless, a very nice one. Let's get a closer look. Here she is, folks. Austin Dillon's beautiful Darlington Throwback, and I just, oh my god, man. Look at that silver. This is just a very, very, very nice paint job. I mean, just look how shiny this thing is, man. This, you can tell this car has a special finish to it, you know? When most of these cars are just a simple gloss, you know, a white or maybe a blue or a black, you know, it's just like, it's like a simple one base color. But no, you can tell they actually put a custom paint job for this diecast, and I'm really happy that Lionel did. I mean, this is it's such a just a good looking diecast. This is one I'm very glad I got, and I'm very happy that NASCAR Authentics decided to release this one, because this is, I mean, one of the best throwbacks of 2018. No question about it. And one of my favorite features is this Chevrolet bow tie. But as you can see, there's a little bit of a screw up. And this is something I always loved so much about the old, the Monte Carlos and stuff, is just seeing that bow tie on the hood. And of course, that one decal happens to be scratched. So that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But for the most part, this is a very cool throwback to Dale Earnhardt Sr., which, honestly, I think this is, I don't know if I would say it's one of the best throwbacks, but it's certainly up there. I mean, it is certainly up there. I mean, because the thing is, a lot of these throwbacks, they're very like half done, half baked, so to speak. American Ethanol, kudos to them. They actually allowed RCR and Austin Dillon to take their font, their style, everything, and change it to the signature Goodwrench style fonts for this throwback. So they actually allowed them to do a sort of a rebranding. I really like that. They you know, they were full support of this, because, I mean, look at this. I mean, you got the E15, where that's supposed to be GM. So if you imagine that saying GM and this saying Goodwrench Services or whatever, wow, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, you got that nice, I would say, what do you call it, hunter safety orange, you know, something you might see like on a safety vest or something out in the woods. Pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool stuff. And I believe this car is based off Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 1997 All-Star car. Dale Sr., he knew merchandising, and he knew marketing. He knew what he was doing when he started making these alternate paint schemes for the 3-car. He realized that he was so popular and people would buy his diecasts, his shirts, his hats, anything with a 3 on it, NASCAR fans would buy. And he was one of, if not the first driver, to truly take advantage of the alternate paint scheme. I mean, I'm being serious. He is one of the first to truly take advantage of the alternate paint scheme. What Dale Earnhardt Sr. did is he knew how everybody likes to buy the diecast of their favorite driver. They like to buy the shirts. Well, if they run the same paint scheme the entire season, that means you only have to buy one diecast, you know? But if they run 3 or 4 different ones, and they're all really nice paint schemes, it kind of gets the fan, you know, interested to spending more money on merchandising to get more paint schemes. And that could not be more common today than it was last year. Every year we see more and more and more and more and more alternate paint schemes. I mean, it is, of course, you know, nowadays NASCAR has gotten so expensive that brands simply can't afford to sponsor every race, that it kind of has to be, you know, cut up into smaller bits. But regardless, though, no one really started taking advantage of it until, you know, Dale Sr. And he started these, you know, alternate paint schemes, and he used his popularity. I mean, he was this very smart man. And that's why we see paint schemes change every week. It's because he kind of opened people's eyes about it. Like, there was alternate paint schemes in the past before that. But no one truly took advantage of it until Dale Earnhardt Sr. did. And he, in my opinion, set the example for the diecast market that is today. And I don't think the diecast market would have been the same if it wasn't for Dale Earnhardt Sr. I feel like the diecast market eventually would have, you know, boomed, but Dale Sr. certainly helped, you know, NASCAR diecast take off. You know, instead of it just being, you know, oh, you get a few cars here and there. You gotta think about it, in 97, 98, and all that stuff, when Dale Sr. was, you know, really, you know, on these paint schemes and, you know, pushing, you know, the diecast stuff, guess what? We every year, I mean, the diecast market would get bigger. You go to 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. I mean, the amount of cars that are different, it's crazy, man. It is just crazy. And I think a lot of that, honestly, is because of Dale Earnhardt Sr. He helped establish, you know, the merchandise market for diecasts, took it, in my opinion, mainstream. And that's why this paint scheme, I truly believe this is one of the most important paint schemes of the last, you know, 3 decades. I mean, you got to think about it. This car right here, when Dale Sr. made this just crazy paint scheme, you know, instead of it just being the black number 3, it was the silver and orange number 3. And then people look at it like, wow, that's a cool looking paint scheme. I'm going to go order this diecast, you know? It's simple, man. It's simple. You give the consumer multiple things to buy. That's what you do. Like, could you imagine if Dale Jr. never ran an alternate paint scheme? It would be brand suicide at that point to have a driver of the popularity fan base like Dale Jr. and to not take advantage of it. We do got a little bit of a tear here, but I mean, it's such a beautiful paint scheme, man, and that's why I felt like it was important to kind of, you know, to touch on the history of this paint scheme. Now, I don't know everything about it, but judging from what I have, you know, gathered, it is certainly one of the most important paint schemes, in my opinion, in NASCAR history, because this is the car that kind of started all the diecasts. I mean, yeah, they were making diecasts in the 70s. I mean, let's be honest, they were making diecasts for way longer than that. It just wasn't mainstream. Like, I've seen a photo or two of scale model cars of 1960s NASCARs that in these photos that were taken in the 1960s. So it's like, it was not mainstream until the 90s. And I think Dale Sr. and Jeff Gordon played a huge part of that. But Dale Sr. really opened people's eyes with the marketing, I think. I mean, look at Jeff Gordon. How many alternate paint schemes did he run in the 90s? Up until the late 90s, it wasn't that many. The late 90s is when NASCAR started to really boom. And that's why all the new tracks, new sponsors, multiple paint schemes a year. I could go on and on and on. It was a great decade for NASCAR. I can't get over this paint scheme, man. It is such a well-made throwback. I mean, if you're going to make a trivia paint scheme, you got to nail the font. You know, you got to nail the font, you got to nail the color, you got to nail all that stuff. RCR, Austin Dillon, Richard Childress, I mean, they did a very good job with this. I really do. I'm very glad that American Ethanol decided to step up and go forward with this. I mean, they could have said, no, you can't change our font, you know, we don't want that. No, they stepped up and they did it, and it's, you know, it's really cool to see that. In the hood, my lord, the nostalgia from this hood is real. I mean, you got that flat Earnhardt gray. Like, I mean, you go and look at any piece of, like, Dale Sr. hat, you know, any merchandising, you know, clothing, apparel. You got this signature Dale Sr. gray. You got the Dale Sr. black. You got that Dale Sr. 3. Only thing it needs is Earnhardt's signature and the orange to be white. And I kid you not, it would be perfect. But, you know, this is a alternate paint scheme. Of course, this ain't silver, but I love this gray. It's something about, it's like a flat gray that was just so popular with Dale Earnhardt. But it looks so good. I mean, it's a very nice hood. This is a really cool hood piece. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you I mean, look at this. Let me use a smaller finger. If you were to take that orange and turn it white, you cannot tell me that does not make you think of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Now look at the 3. You cannot tell me that, and then, you know, of course it says Austin Dillon there, but regardless, though, it's still really cool. It is still very cool. It's such a good die-cast, man. I mean, quality-wise, yeah, I'm a little bit bummed about the bow tie logo, but guess what, man? Overall, the paint scheme's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, the 3 is a little crooked there, but, you know, big whip, you know, it's pretty good. Striping isn't too bad. You know, it's so reflective, man. I mean, my God. Beautiful, man. I mean, I remember watching this car race on the track last year in the Southern 500. And, man, it was just, it's such a cool paint scheme. I was contemplating getting it. I was like, man, I'm going to get it. And I'm like, I ain't going to get it. I'm going to get it. I ain't going to get it. Well, thanks to Lionel and NASCAR Authentics, I got it. And that's going to be the end of this review. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and to subscribe to Diecastbuffet for more NASCAR content. And of course, if you haven't heard already, I'm doing a promotional series on my channel called Diecastbuffet Summer of Diecasts. Basically, we're going to be reviewing like over 25, 28 diecasts within 2 months. So make sure to subscribe to that. Thank you all so much for watching, folks. Hope you're having a great one. And Diecastbuffet, signing off.